So I'd just like to give you a little bit of background, if it's okay with you, on who I am and where I've come from, and really just why I feel that I'm qualified to give you advice on sustained weight loss and healthy eating and healing and and energy and all that kind of stuff. So as you know by now, I'm Laura Wilson. I'm 35 years old and I live in Devon in the UK by the sea. And at the moment, I'm very fit, healthy, youthful looking. I'm just for transparency, I'll show you, I've got no makeup on, little bit of eyebrow stuff because I was doing some makeup earlier, but no proper makeup on. And I'm not very wrinkly for my age. I look probably younger now than when I was in my mid-20s, I would say. A lot of people regularly think I'm a student, and about 10 years younger than I am. I'm lean, fit. Let's go over here and show you. So I'm pretty lean, and I'm muscly. Because this thing, I'm muscly, I've got good muscle tone, so I'm not ultra skinny. I'm just showing you all this for kind of accountability, really. I run ultra marathons. I did an ultra marathon race of 32 miles across moors, very, very hilly countryside last year. And actually last year I ran a total of over 12 marathon distances in that year and remained pretty much injury free. The only injury I had, I sprained my ankle, not even running after a run. But apart from that, I was injury free. However, I've not always been fit, healthy, young looking by any means at all. When I was at university, I was a smoker, I was overweight, I was really tired and lethargic all the time. My skin looked dry, I looked just exhausted all the time. I didn't have much energy at all. I couldn't concentrate on the work that I was doing. To give you a little kind of illustration of my lifestyle, the first year of university, I lived in catered halls of residence. And having just moved away from home, it's all exciting and wow, away from parents and things, and the meals we were having the meals we were given in our halls of residence were not healthy at all. And having grew up in a home which was relatively healthy, this was like amazing to me. All of a sudden I could eat sausages for breakfast and chips and lasagnas and all the time, and it was free in our halls. So typically for breakfast I would have like a big English fry up with bacon, eggs, fried eggs, hash browns, fried toast, baked beans, sausages, mushrooms, that kind of stuff. Then I would go into university and go to like a couple of hours of lectures and then have lunch, and I would typically grab something like a McDonald's or a Subway sandwich. If I bought a Subway, I would think that was really healthy. And then in the evening I'd come back to my halls of residence and we'd be given something like a big lasagna dripping with a lot of fat and oil and a lot of meat-based things. We would have things like fish fingers and fried chips with a token gesture, really is all it could be described of vegetables. So maybe a little side of peas. Rarely we'd have like carrots or just a little portion of broccoli maybe, but it's usually overcooked, so devoid of much nutrients. So that's where I was at. Plus in the evenings I would go out with my friends and typically go night clubbing and to pubs and parties and things, and I'd be drinking most nights of the week, really. Feeling terrible, was doing no exercise, gained weight in that first year. At the end of that first year of university, I actually got a big rash on my legs. Went to the student doctor and he took one look at it and said, well, that's alcohol poisoning. And that was the turning point for me. I was really shocked by that and I was just so disappointed in myself. The doctor was quite blasé. He said, don't worry, loads of students get it. Take these pills, you'll be fine in a few days. But I'm not one to take tablets and pills and drugs and things. And knowing that I'd inflicted this on myself, I just felt really ashamed of myself and knew that something had to change. So from that point on, I stopped going out so much in the evenings with my friends, started going to the gym, joined a local gym. It was just me, young white girl in the centre of like the dodgy place in Birmingham. And it was just a load of big beefy black blokes. So I felt very intimidated at the time, felt also very, very unfit. I remember the first time I tried to run a mile on a treadmill, man, yeah, I thought my heart was going to explode. My face was bright red. Yeah, was really hard going. I ran it in about 12 or 13 minutes. But when I finished, I felt that endorphin rush from doing exercise, and I enjoyed it. So kept going to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, and at each time I'd run a little bit further or a little bit quicker, maybe do also 10 minutes of rowing and a few weights and things. And after a period of a couple months, I really saw some good results, felt a lot better. Coupled with this, at the end of my first year, I moved into a shared house, so I was now cooking for myself. So naturally, going to the gym and kind of adjusting to my body's needs much better, I was naturally drawn to things like pasta and brown rice and lean chicken, which I thought at the time was good. Not too bad, I guess. And lots of vegetables and maybe like a low-fat tomato-based sauce or a curry sauce. So I was eating much better, a lot more vegetables, I was eating more fruit, and felt a whole lot better. Fast forward a couple of years when I left university, moved home to Devon, and really was just bitten by the health and fitness bug now. I built up to running like 6, 7, 8 miles, put myself in for a half marathon, ran that half marathon, was just such an amazing feeling. But I was still running, going to the gym, and then leaving and lighting up a cigarette at the time, which is madness, right? So at the age of 21, so it's about a year later, I gave up smoking and was just doing so much research at this point into optimum nutrition. And what I was doing, I was using myself as a guinea pig, working out, okay, if I have, say, rice and chicken, how would I feel? How would that affect my recovery from the gym? How would it affect my energy levels and endurance? Or what about if I ate just like say 3 apples and a couple of bananas? How would I feel? What if I had a big green leafy salad? And I naturally found that a plant-based diet, so cutting right down on meat and dairy and anything like that, any animal products, eating a high abundance of high fiber foods, a lot of raw foods, a lot of raw fruits and things. Because the good thing was, as someone who likes to eat, I'm a foodie, I could eat bigger volumes of food. So, for the sake of 100 calories, I could either have 2 small squares of chocolate, or I could have 2 apples. And an apple takes, 5 minutes to eat. A square of chocolate is gone in a matter of seconds. So I was getting more bang for my buck with my foods, if you like. And I just was feeling really good. All the things were compounding now, giving up smoking, cutting way down on alcohol, meat and dairy, fitness improving. So I was really feeling good. In 2005, I was so enthused by my progress and the research I'd been doing, and I had this body of knowledge now and wanted to share it with people. I actually joined the UK Health Organisation managing the medical research, and worked there for a couple of years. I also ran a marathon, around Paris Marathon in 2005, and I tell you what, when I crossed that finishing line, and I ran it in 3 hours 48, which is not a bad time for a woman of that age. I was only 25 at the time. It just felt amazing. To think that only 6 years before, at the age of 19, I felt like an old woman. I was creaky, I was overweight, I felt body conscious, tired all the time. And then at 25, I was lean, vibrant, fit, fast. It feels like another world. It feels like I was a different person, but it's quite amazing. So I set up my website in 2007, alkalinediethealthtips.com, and really just wanted to spread this message of a more alkaline plant-based diet to the whole world, really. So from that period, I've built up a subscriber base of over 20,000 people online. And published my book, The Alkaline 5 Diet, in 2015. So I've actually written 6 books altogether on the topic of alkaline diet, including a short recipe book that I gave away for free for many years, a guide, 7 ways to alkalize your body, 11 alkalizing tips. A number of different books, but my main one is the Alkaline 5 Diet, which was taken on by major publisher Hay House in 2014. They saw the potential for it, loved my kind of message and background and enthusiasm took it on, and it's published all around the world now. It's doing really well in the US, UK, Australia, and I think it's being translated into places like Germany, into German, at some point soon. My publisher informs me. So yeah, and I'm having amazing feedback, because the thing is, building up such a large subscriber base through my website and customer base, I get emails every day of the week from people saying, do you know what, I had diabetes or heart disease or even stage 4 cancer. I've included more alkaline foods into my diet, and my diabetes is disappearing. My cancer is going into remission. My blood pressure is down. My cholesterol is down by a few points. You know, so I know this works. I know it works for me. You know, that's been so obvious. But to get feedback from people with all types of diseases, all types of health situations, and even people like endurance athletes, and I've worked with pro basketball players, and they all see positive results from including more alkaline plant-based foods into their diet. So yeah, just, you know, I've been vegan now fully vegan for about 3 years, and I've never felt better. And other people I speak to have really just run with this way of eating, have experienced the same. So yeah, that's a little bit about, in a nutshell, where I've come from and where I am now. So yeah, I hope you feel that I'm qualified to help you. I'm also, I forgot to say, a qualified nutritionist. I've been studying diet and health for many years. I've tried all sorts of diets over the years. I've tried paleo diet, Atkins diet, South Beach diet, the fast 5-2 diet, a juicing diet. I actually did a water fast where I had no food whatsoever for 7 days as a kind of detox to see how that would affect my body. So I've really tried a lot of different things, and conclusively I can say that a plant-based alkaline diet is just the best. And it's the best in terms of satisfaction as well. I've never felt more abundantly satisfied with the food that I'm eating. You know, I'd much rather sit and have a tray of delicious Californian organic medjool dates than a big cream cake that I used to enjoy when I was 20, you know. So yeah, so I hope that that inspires you a little bit, and to know that you're in safe hands. Anything else I need to mention? Not sure, don't think so. Also, just the fact that my background is in law. I studied a degree in law at university, which gave me, because I worked in medical law, as I mentioned, for a couple of years, it gave me really good skills of discernment, of evidence-based research. So I know when I look at something to look at it critically, to triangulate the results, to make sure that if I see a fact about something, to get 2 other pieces of independent research that confirm that. So my research is very critical, it's very discerning. Yes, and I also spend a lot of time, and have spent a lot of time, interviewing lots of doctors, natural health doctors, people like Dr. Neil Barnard, who are just world leaders in reversing diabetes with an alkaline plant-based diet. I've interviewed him, he wrote the foreword to my book, The Alkaline 5 Diet. Interviewed lots of other people, doctors and health practitioners and athletes. So yeah, well, I'll catch you in the next video then.